Hey everybody, Tim here with another daily cooking video for you. Today we'll be making basic pizza dough, which is a request from my niece Sarah, and of course I cannot refuse that. If you enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, and the like button. I do appreciate it. Okay, so let's start with 2.5 cups of just all-purpose flour. That's fine for this recipe. Then we'll need 1 teaspoon of instant yeast, 1 teaspoon of fine sea salt or just regular table salt, a heaping tablespoon of sugar, and then we'll just mix that all up and add 2 tablespoons of canola oil, and we'll just keep some flour on hand. We'll need that later. We'll take 1 cup of lukewarm water and we'll just pour that in and stir it up and work it around. Mix it up good until it starts to gather together and form a dough, at which point we'll be able to start working it with our hands. So we'll just pull that off the spoon and then we'll take the flour and we'll sort of wash our hands with it. And I hope you washed your hands before this. Nice clean hands. Okay, so we start the kneading process and we just start working that dough 3 to 5 minutes, and we use the flour as we need it. It will be a bit sticky at the beginning, but go easy on the flour, just a little bit, just enough so that you can work with the dough. And we'll keep doing this for about 5 minutes tops. It'll start to fight you, and you'll know what I mean. It'll start to get really hard. And there we go, we can work it on the table as well, if you're into that kind of thing. And it'll start to resist and tear on the surface. And when that starts to happen, see, it's a little bit rough and starting to tear, right? When that happens, you want to give it a rest. So we're going to do a few rest cycles. So this first one, we're just going to cover it up, rest it 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes have gone by. And we got our flour there. I'm just going to pull this off the bottom, and it's become much more soft, much more supple. The gluten has relaxed, so we can work that. And we're just going to work it again, 3 to 5 minutes, using the flour as we need it. It's still a little bit sticky, and we're just going to work it, work it, work it. Just work it with your hands. When you're making it by hand, it takes a little bit longer, so it helps if you do it in stages like this. So we're just going to work it, then we're going to put it back in the bowl, cover it up, 5 more minutes. Another 5 minutes has elapsed, and let's have a look here. The dough is definitely more soft, more supple, and you guessed it, we're going to repeat the process. So we pull that off the bottom, and let's have a look. It's definitely softer, stretchier, little less sticky, more tacky, but we're still going to dust it with just a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick to the hands, and we are going to work it for another 3 to 5 minutes. You guessed it, but this will be the last phase where we rest it under the towel. And 5 more minutes, and finally we have our dough here, and it is definitely nice and smooth, nice and stretchy. And we're just going to form it into a ball, pour about a teaspoon of canola oil over it, and just get that all over. Make sure you get all sides and the bottom. Then we're going to pop that into a Ziploc bag, squeeze out as much of the air as possible, and then leave it at room temperature for 1 hour. After an hour, our dough has doubled in size, and we're just going to degas it. We're going to punch that sucker down, reform it into a ball, coat it with oil, and then store it. And in the freezer, you can do this for up to 3 months, or in the fridge for upwards of a week, where the taste will continue to improve. And at this point, if you like, you can cut it in half, form it into 2 balls for 2 medium pizzas, or just store it as is. When you get ready to use it, bring it up to room temperature. So out of the fridge is about an hour, out of the freezer is about a day. If you're using it immediately, then make it in the morning and put it in the fridge for at least a couple hours. And then you can make pizzas or pizza bread or panzerottis or all kinds of wonderful things. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I will be back next time, of course, with something new for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.